Don Peoples, Deadbolt. Let's talk about it. And yeah, let's get into this one. Now, obviously, with this all breaking pretty much with the brother Polight situation and allegedly him having sexual relations with his girlfriend's 14-year-old minor daughter. This situation here, it kind of touches me to the core, obviously, because I have a daughter. Um, and to imagine, a 14-year-old or, anybody that's a minor, being a victim of somebody like a Polight, it's crazy. Especially, coming from a Polight who's been one of the leaders of the conscious community, has made lots of money off the backs of other people giving information and all that stuff. And now for him to be caught up in a situation. But like I tell people, man, the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. Now, obviously, all this is, alleged information. But, they found semen on the girl's, clothes and garments. Allegedly, man, he went out and got her drunk and, she waking up with his fingers down her throat. He trying to get whatever he done gave her, it out of her. It just seems like he went to great extents, man, to pull this off. And, for you to go back to the girlfriend's spot and tell her like, oh no, you can't go to the police. This can ruin me. Like, what do you think was going to happen? You didn't think she was going to go to the doctor and take her daughter in to see what happened? And how do you think this really made her feel knowing that you had relations with her daughter, unbeknownst to her? But like I said, man, it doesn't fall far from the tree. This is a guy who studied up under Dr. York. Now, for everybody who's aware of the Dr. York situation, he was in the same type of thing, dealing with minors, boys and girls. Now, all this is alleged. I mean, there's some people who still fight for this man and say like, hey, all that stuff was just pent up on him because he really was bringing a society of the Moors and building his own civilization, so to speak. And that's why they wanted to get him. And I can understand that because I understand how law enforcement, the FBI, CIA work, right? So we understand that could be true as well. But it kind of puts York in a bad situation because obviously Dr. Polight or Brother Polight, studied up under him. And, York got sentenced to 135 years in prison. This situation with Brother Polight, I feel like is very deep though, man, because it really speaks to what goes on in the urban communities, especially with our young boys and our young girls. As I gotten older, I've talked to a lot of people, man, who come from those type of backgrounds where they've been touched, where they've been molested. Um, you know, and sometimes, the molestation happens like for a boy, right? Like I had a situation where my babysitter, you know what I'm saying? No, I ain't gonna put her out there, but my brother, he was a big, basketball star in the school, and he had one of his female acquaintances watch me while he went out and did whatever he had to do, and she let her brother play with her a little bit. She pulling out titties and everything. And even though a lot of people will say, well, that ain't no molestation shit, that, whatever. But when you look back on it, that traumatized me forever because that really made me want sex. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yo, because I wasn't old enough to really know what all that stuff was. I'm like, yo, I'm pointing to it like, yeah, I want to see this. And yeah, can you show me that? Like a art project or something. You feel me? So, I understand how this stuff comes about. And, how it hits you, it kind of hits you all of a sudden. You don't even think it's coming, and then bam, here it is. So looking who Brother Polight studied up under, it doesn't, to me, seem far-fetched. that this would be happening. Now, obviously, he's been arrested on these allegations, and a lot of this stuff is about to start coming to the forefront. But I think it just speaks to a whole overview of what's been going on in our communities. With, like I said, with our young brothers and our young sisters, man, being touched on. Being at a vulnerable state where somebody can take advantage of you, not knowing who you can turn to in a situation like this. But I feel like with his situation, especially, it was just very thirsty. It's like, what did you think was going to happen? You were going to take a 14-year-old to a party with grown folks. You're getting her intoxicated. Allegedly, you gave her a couple of pills. It's like, she's waking up. Obviously, you trying to, insert your Johnson in her throat. Whatever you get, you're going to get for this. And that's what they say, man. It seems like a lot of people with power and influence, they have a lot of dark secrets. It's a lot of stuff behind the closet, behind the doors that people don't talk about. And this ain't his first time, obviously, it's just something he's probably been dealing with for a long time. Liking to prey on the innocent and, stuff of that nature. So I don't really see this as a big shock, like I said, knowing who he's affiliated with. But, I just think that we need to shine light on this situation as an overview of what really happens to a lot of our kids when we leave them with strangers or, that one particular family member or, whatever. So, it's a sad situation. My prayers go to, the 14-year-old. I know, she'll probably be traumatized the rest of her life. But, with Polight, like I said, the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. So we're going to see what happens going forward with him. But it's definitely a situation where I don't see him getting out of this one. This ain't going to get swept under the rug. And it's going to be a situation where, he probably is going to get a hefty little, you know what I mean? And all we can say is, man, that, when you do things like this, it's always going to come to the light. You know what I mean? His whole situation, how he planned this out, obviously was just sloppy. I don't know what he was thinking himself. Maybe he was on a pill himself. Who knows? But, again, we're going to see how this plays out. But, y'all get in the comment box, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man, about Brother Polight in this situation. Is this something that has been going on in our communities for a long time and just not being talked about? Or, is Brother Polight just a victim himself? Y'all get in the comment box, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like, subscribe, hit the notifications, man, so y'all can tap in every time I drop a video. It's your boy, Don Peoples.